have to rely on everybody to take care of me, and I was always the caretaker. And it's hard. It's like my life is changed dramatically. I just feel different. This is a whole different life than I had almost 3 years ago. And I feel like I was robbed of my life.
That's our client, Sarah, and her life changed because she was let down by the people providing her medical care at a hospital in South Alabama. Sarah was out in the country riding four-wheelers with her family when she was involved in an accident. She was thrown off of her four-wheeler and badly hurt, but importantly, she was able to move her arms and her legs. EMS responded to the scene and put her in a cervical collar to stabilize her neck, and then safely transported her to a hospital in South Alabama. When she got there, the cervical collar was removed. Unfortunately for Sarah, this left her spinal cord unprotected against multiple unstable fractures in her neck that her healthcare providers had failed to identify. Over the next 24 hours, her healthcare providers squandered multiple opportunities to avoid an impending neurological disaster. And by the time they correctly diagnosed Sarah, it was too late. She was paralyzed from the chest down.
I can feel from my breastbone up, my arms, I can move at different angles and all. I can't feel anything except for pressure. I can feel if my butt is sore. It feels like it's burning. I have to constantly move around in this chair to get the pressure off so that I am comfortable.
She cannot dress herself. She cannot bathe herself. She cannot make her own food. She cannot get her own water. She can't really do much for herself besides what's right there at her body.
The spasticity it's every day, and it seems to be all day. There may be a few minutes that they're behaving, the legs. Depending on how intense they are, sometimes takes my breath away, and I can feel it going all the way up through into my neck and shoulders, like it just some craziness going on.
After meeting Sarah and hearing her story, our job was to determine what went wrong after she got to the hospital. We filed a lawsuit against her healthcare providers, began gathering evidence, and assembled a team of medical experts. Through this process, we were able to prove that Sarah's outcome was entirely preventable. Had things been handled differently, had her healthcare providers provided her with reasonable and prudent care, Sarah would not have been paralyzed. Ultimately, we were able to get her case settled and ensure that her future needs were taken care of.
I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me, and I don't want to feel sorry for myself. I just want to be able to be the best person. I pray every night that I'm better tomorrow than I was today. I love life, and I love it even more if I could be in it again. But, I'm not going to let it get me down to the point where I'm going to crawl in myself. That's not me. I try to be as upbeat and positive as I can.
Sarah's story is truly inspirational. She is an honest, hardworking person whose life changed forever through no fault of her own. Her grace and perseverance in the face of adversity make her extraordinary in my eyes. And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to fight for Sarah and people like her.